Welcome back to season 2 of Skottie Talk. We are out of, we are out of sync. Awful. Me and him were having a full conversation, and like I interrupted Tyler mid sentence to start the timer, just because I've. It's been a while. It's been 4 weeks since we ended
It's a new
season 1.
year, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, and we're here talking Scotty as usual. So
Yeah, we've had a good 25-minute conversation, and the show's almost not even got started yet. But and I didn't mention this to you, Tyler, just because I wanted to quiz you. There's a little bit of an age gap between me and you, but
mm,
the goofy logo that I used here, the welcome back, which I think is actually from some school welcome back thing I took from free clip art. I really wanted to use the welcome back kata, logo. Do you know what that show is?
I don't believe so. No, I think you got me stumped there. I could be wrong. I have to look at it, but
Well, if you heard the song, it may jog your memory a little bit, but
it
it's
jog
like
my memory.
yeah, it's about a school. Miss Takata was the teacher. John Travolta was a student. That's how old it is. But
Oh,
I
I think I have seen clips of. I think I've seen clips of John Travolta in that show. Maybe.
yeah, I watched it when I was a kid. It came out in like 1975, so it came out 6 years before I was born. But I wanted to use that logo for the welcome back. I thought this nobody will get it, nobody will appreciate it. But
I'm sure
I
there
instead
would have been
decided,
tons of Scotty fans who are old enough to get it. So
yeah, that Venn diagram. I'm sure the Cotter fans and Scotty fans.
the
There's
Scotty
a healthy
fans, yeah,
middle there.
overlapping.
Oh yeah, we love Venn diagrams. Hey Seth, what's up? Happy New Year to you as well,
On
my friend.
Seth, thank you for joining.
Well, Tyler, it's been 4 weeks, maybe longer, maybe 5 weeks. My math is off,
It might
but
have been
I think it's
five.
been
Yeah.
yeah, December 11th, I think was the Scotties too. So if y'all haven't watched the Scotties, the great award show that was presented live by me and Tyler, make sure you go back and catch that in episode 15. But yeah, about 5 weeks ago, lots happened. You have a pretty good Christmas break and New Year's break and all that good stuff.
I did. I did. I got a little bit of. I got half and half of the sun and beaches, and then the other half with the cold and fire log and Christmas movies. So it was honestly a perfect combination of the two. And busy, just running to see all the family, and then getting back to reality and the job and everything. So how about yourself? Was it good as well?
Yeah, and we've talked a little bit online or through Messenger back and forth, but other than everybody being sicker than a dog over Christmas, having a daughter that was pretty sick Christmas Eve night, and I was sick
Oh
the night before
no.
Christmas Eve. So we just kind of passed it back and forth from each other. So
That
other than
seems
that, it was pretty good.
That's the theme for the holidays. We did the same. I think it was unfortunately myself who got everyone else sick because when we came back from the
Oh,
Dominican is when
patient
I
zero.
started feeling not so good, and then everybody else also started feeling not so good. So that was fine. But then I also caught what I believe to be hives. I'm not entirely sure if
Oh
it
my
was, but
goodness!
that wasn't entirely fun. But that's thankfully pretty much gone away now. So
Wow. Well, you just yeah, it made the because I had a few days off for vacation and holidays, and it made it go by really fast. So it sounds like you were experiencing something similar, but at least you were with family. If you're going to be
yeah.
sick, you might as well be with family.
It makes it a lot better, yeah. Especially when I'm with my mom. My mom goes into mom mode and taking
Oh
care of
gosh,
us and everything. So yeah, and then, like you said, it makes it a lot better when you're around family. At least they're on break. So
yeah. I am trying to share our thing real quick. Let everybody know we're live. I apologize. Give me 1 minute here, Tyler.
it's all right. We're getting back into the swing of things. So
Yeah, I can't spell live, so that's not a good start. Okay, well, I did it well enough, I suppose. That's our motto here. Well enough.
well
That's what
enough.
we shoot for.
I like that. That's all we can do is be well enough. So
Yeah, well, maybe as next week rolls on, we'll get back into it full blast. But
I
right
think so.
now,
Yeah.
we'll get there. Uh, I told Tyler before the show started. Give away our first thing. I told Tyler before the show started. It's weird because we did 15 of these before tonight, but tonight's almost like the first one again, where it's like, all right, do I say something? How many uhs are we going to say? How many you know awkward pauses are there going to be? How many misspoke speaking are we going to have? And I see Ryan pop up, yo, 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 and I almost said that mid sentence from like that. So glad to have Ryan on with us as
See, it's
well
funny.
tonight.
I feel the opposite. It's weird because we've been gone, but I'm like, oh, we've been doing this for like a year now or something. Like, it's like, oh, it's another Wednesday night. Like, all right, getting ready for the, us talking in the 20 minutes or whatever beforehand, and then getting into it and going to the slides. So, and again, it could just be I'm still recovering from the holidays. So,
well, before we get into the actual, information of the show tonight, show everybody what you got for Christmas there. What your brother was kind enough to. Tyler went and upgraded on us.
I was gonna say, yeah. Hopefully, people can hear the difference. But I got a fancy new microphone for my brother here for the holidays. So definitely much better than my webcam microphone that I was using beforehand. And it's mainly for gaming purposes. I think he got it for me, but it definitely helps the podcast or our our YouTube lives as well. So
well done. Yeah, he's a big Tyler's a big gamer. So this is just his hobby on the side that he does other than gaming. But I'm still using my dollar store specific cam and mic. So he's going to sound a lot better than I am. But that's par for the course. We're used to it. Nice and crisp. Ryan gives his
glad to hear it. Yeah. No, it's it was one of those things where I was like, all right, cool. I'll be able to use it, for this as well. So I'll definitely have to go back and compare once this video goes up, previously, and then what we're listening to now. So.
Well, you're a brave man. I can't stand to hear myself speak. So.
Oh, I absolutely abhor it. No, I hate listening to myself, but it's just kind of like nails on a chalkboard. It's you just can't ignore it. So I'm like, whatever. I'll listen to it, get it out of the way, and then be done. So
be done with it. I really thought you were going to say, "Oh yeah, Dustin, I can't stand to hear you speak either." But I set you up for it.
No, I'm not that mean. No, I honestly it's funny because the only one that I've really gone back and watched all the way through is our Brett Bean one. That one I could stomach because I was like, okay, well, we're talking with Brett Bean. I can deal with that. If we have a guest on, I can listen to those. But if it's just ourselves, I'm like, I heard it while we were talking, so there's no need to go back and watch it.
Yeah, that's and plus the meanness. That's a season 8 joke. That's not a season 2 joke. Whenever we get more into this, I'm sure the jokes will be more meaner and more harsher, and
exactly
we'll be like an old married couple on here eventually. But we're still pretty cordial right now.
Yeah, we're still in the honeymoon phase.
That's right. That's a perfect way to put it. How naive I am. Whenever you show me what the gift your brother got you, I thought, oh my gosh, your brother is such a big fan of the show that he wants you to sound really, really good. It honestly took me till probably a few minutes ago to realize whenever we were talking before the show, he's like, oh, he got it for gaming. He didn't get it for the.
I think they were because he actually got me the same mic that he has, and then my other friend has a better mic, and I think he was just kind of fed up with listening to me in a not so great quality, which is understandable because my voice is obnoxious enough as is. So add on the added effects, if you will, then it makes it worse. So.
Yeah, I think he's a closet fan of Skottie Talk as well. So
I hope. I mean, they all know about it. So I let them know. Wednesday nights. Tune in. So
this is where it's at. Well, I'm glad he got it, and I may have to get me one just to make myself sound as nice and crisp as you are, as Ryan Pratt has so proudly proclaimed. So
then we can, then we can change like the channel, like the crispy Scotties or something like that, something awful. So
that's right. Yeah, that's as lame as we can get it. That's what we're shooting for. So, all right. Without further ado, and not to keep anybody waiting, I'm sure people have places to be. The first real big event. I mean, our last show was December 11th, and even though it's been kind of the hibernation period between now January 15th, where we're at today, there has been a lot of stuff that's happened in the world of Skottie. And the first big one that was announced right around the time of our last show was the Skottie Non-Con. And of course, it took place earlier this week, and they posted some pictures of it. And it looked like a lot of fun for all the vendors and fans that were able to attend and get books signed.
Yeah, no, I honestly almost completely forgot about this myself. And then they posted about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's already here. I thought it was later in the year than for some reason than it was happening. But like you said, it seems like it was such a blast, and it was, fun. Them saying, this person drove up from Florida, like all the way from Florida, or they,
Oh,
drove or
yeah.
flew, or however they got there. And then of course the story videos that came out of Skottie with his covers and everything. So I'm sure, especially for something like this, where it's offering a specific thing for a specific group of people who want to buy a whole bunch of Skottie signatures and get them on comics, whether for a store or resale, whatever it is. I'm sure this is a lot easier than having to try and cram this into a convention as well and worry about that stuff. So again, I hope this, pans out for him and does what they want it to, and helps, cut back on some of the stress at the conventions and everything. And like I said, it seems, a lot more chill, a lot more, because you're not having to worry about other people as well. And, I know Skottie knows a lot of these people that have come in, are coming to him, have come to him before. So
I mean, it's also like you're getting a private panel with Skottie. I mean, for anyone that's been able to attend one of his panels at a convention, the stories, Skottie's a natural born storyteller. If his book he's written isn't obvious, but the fact to hear those two stories that you referenced that were showed on like Instagram story, uh, that would have made the price of taking the books over there and getting them signed worth it, just to be able to have the moments of hearing some of those stories. It almost makes me wish that Megan would film some of those for Instagram, just really quick ones, behind the cover stories where you could feel out, what inspired certain covers, because both the ones that he told stories about were pretty incredible.
no, yeah, they were. I mean, and that's what was so cool, is that it was new, I think, to a lot of us. That's those specific stories. And that's what's so great about cons, is that you get those moments that are just kind of out of the blue, and you're not necessarily sure what exactly you're going to talk about and discuss when you get there. It just kind of happens naturally. So like you said, to be able to get these moments is, like you said, it's almost worth the cost itself. Not just to get the signatures, but also to get, just that one-on-one time with Skottie. I mean, kind of like what you did a little bit, like when you got your art, when he was doing his signings and stuff. Like, again, I'm sure it's a lot
Oh, yeah.
nicer because there's not as much of the noise and the craziness and all that stuff. So, yeah, this again, this was, I thought, a fun idea, and naming it the non-con, and doing what they're doing. And they had everybody fill it out for their slots they had. So it seems like, it was good for them as well. So,
Yeah, it's filled out really quickly. I mean, yeah, it filled up really quickly, it seemed like, too.
yeah. But yeah, like you said,
Whether you
it
brought
would be
100
fun to
books,
see more stories come out of it. So,
oh, I'd love to. And the minimum was 100. And I think some people maybe brought 100 to 200. But I know Kevin, the gentleman here that's posted a few things in our group, the Skottie Young Appreciation group on Facebook, I think he brought over 1,100 books. And
oh
I
wow,
believe these were the books that the one that you were drooling over
I
that's
know.
on the
Yeah,
table. I'm pretty sure
yeah, it
that's
was
his books he brought.
that Avengers, the Lockjaw, and then the Monster Club, or especially the Lockjaw and Avengers. Those are two comics I'll most likely never own, but will greatly appreciate whenever I see them. So, yeah, very cool to see, specific ones like that, not just, the whole bunch of the Screw You covers and Venom and all that stuff. So
Yeah, which those are great books too.
they
We're
are,
not
yeah.
we're not knocking those, but the
No, honestly,
rarity
seeing all the
of
screws,
these
because I
books,
still don't own that cover, funny enough, the Deadpool one. So it was just another reminder of, like, oh yeah, there's still a few that you don't have quite yet in the collection. So
so this the non Scotty Con or Scotty non con, I'll say it right here in a second, where it takes place in January. It leads into the next con that Scotty will be attending, which is the Planet Comic Con, which is coming up in March, and it's in their backyard. So this will be a fun one for them to get to participate in. After we were talking a little bit about this before the show, but I believe spring break has synced up with it in the past, so they're able to go this year, which as convenient as it is location wise, logistically, I'm sure they'll have a really good time there.
yeah, no, yeah. Before we moved, I just wanted to say, yeah, I hope we get a print of the Lockjaw. I'm super glad we got a print of the
Oh
Avengers
yeah,
one. But yeah, no, it's I'm sure it's definitely nice for them, especially because that's what they're trying their best to do, is make the best use of their time, and being able to go to something like Planet Comic Con, I'm sure is a lot easier than, like you said, going to New York or San Diego or wherever else that they may find themselves. looking at going. So
Oh yeah, and I think so. And for the fans like Ryan that said that he may go to Planet Comic Con this year, please make sure and post pictures in the group. We love seeing whenever people get to meet Skottie. If it's not the first time, the 10th time, the 100th time, whatever, you can do like our buddy Tyler here does and do a before and after. That's one of the greatest posts I think you've had, Tyler, is the one from San Diego Comic Con and the one that you posted from Heroes.
It was,
just to show
yeah.
you
Yeah, like you said, to be able to like, track time, and some people may not like that if the older you are, but just being able to see, when I first met him to now meeting him, at this point, it was a fun comparison of the two. So, yeah, and especially if I were, somebody who met him year after year, like I'd be getting pictures every year and just kind of making like a scrapbook of just, the times I met Skottie or something like that. So
Well, the cool thing about Planet Comic Con, as we were looking at some of the guests before, Adam Hughes just announced this as his first public con for the year. You had mentioned David Tennant's going to be at this at Planet City or Planet Comic Con, so this will be really exciting. And also, Megan had posted, if anybody wants to know a good place to bring like kids, she's got a top 10 list. So just send her a message, and she'll be glad to share that. And with them being local, I'm sure she does have the best places to go and have fun.
No, for sure. Yeah, that's Ryan. That's honestly, it's funny because that's the one thing I regret not doing at Heroes Con was not grabbing a picture with them with the Fortnite art that I bought. For some reason, I just grabbed it and then was just so caught up talking with them and all that stuff that I didn't grab that picture. But I always love grabbing a picture with the art with the artist. So yeah, that would definitely be fun to do with the Grogu sketch.
Most definitely. And
yeah, the guest list seems stacked. Yeah.
It's gonna be really good. And Adam Hughes literally announced it. He posted on Facebook 14 minutes. I'm sure as Allison probably posted it, but 14 minutes before we went live. So that was a kind of breaking news. So pretty cool guest to get there on a show that already has Skottie. So I mean that's gonna be a great show.
Yeah. It only goes up from there. So.
Yeah, that's right. What else we got? So any new, well, I guess collections this month. You got anything new that you want to share, Tyler?
I've got a few. I'm only going to show specific, but I just wanted to give you the visual of, because I haven't shared, I was telling you, Dustin, before that I hadn't shared on Instagram in a while. I've been pretty good about posting, whatever the new comics I pick up and everything. These, unfortunately, are the comics that I have yet to post on Instagram. Whether these, I know, yeah, whether these are the new comics that I've been picking up, like of course the Amazing Spider-Man, covers that we all know and love, yes. Or even special gifts like I received from Dustin, which was this incredible Amazing Spider-Man cover, which I believe most people remember that I had shared the previous week that I got one because I had jumped the gun and kind of ruined his gift by buying it prematurely because I was so impatient. I was like, I gotta have it now. I can't just wait. And if only I'd known that I could have waited and it would have been fine. So, I've got
eBay for being slow.
Yeah. So I know. Yeah, I've got the two of those, and then funny enough, since Seth's here, he'll love that I share this one that I finally have the Ever Wanted Bullseye cover.
Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that.
I know.
That's Seth's book.
That's Seth's book, exactly. And nobody else likes it, just Seth. I was really excited about this one, though. This was one of the most recent, or not most recent, one of my more favorite covers that I've been wanting for quite some time. Yeah, about time, exactly. I know. Thanks to Michael, of course, from overseas. He was in our group. Like, he's been selling off his collection, and he's been great to sell me, quite a few of the more hard to find ones. So, like I said, there's a ton here. I've got to post them all to Instagram to catch up. But yeah, like you said, getting back to the daily pickups at the local comic store and all that jazz. So. I'll show one more.
I'll wait till you're done until I put you on full screen. So
I know, yeah. Well, the other two I did finally complete. I was really excited about this one. I love these Guardians of Nowhere covers, And I've been looking for Drax and Groot for like a year or two plus. Like for some reason, like they don't show up individually or they all show up as a group. So I was never able to fully complete the set, but thankfully I finally have those as well. So but yeah, no, tons of good covers. So yeah, the giant, yeah. We can put up Sescon. Yeah, the giant box behind me is actually my new computer that I'm hoping to set up this weekend. So along with the mic, I've pretty much like reset my whole setup here. I've got a new OLED ultra wide monitor, new PC. You know, I'm starting off this year strong with both gaming and work because it's also a work PC since I work from home full time. But I'm very much excited and looking forward to putting that together. So
Yeah, once again, the naivety in me also believed that the new computer was for our show, but he broke that to me gently too. I think a lot of our show.
It's part of it, but it's just not the full thing normally. So
thank you for not bruising my ego too bad. So.
But how about you? Do you have anything? Yeah, do you have stacks of comics that you're waiting to post or?
Yeah, I've got all the books that have came in from my pull list from Clan McDonald Comics. But the one thing I will show, since it's within reach, is someone in our group had posted the Atlas cover, and I looked online to see if I could find any, and there was a comic shop that had them for sale for $16 each. So I grabbed a couple, and just hoping to get a halfway decent, without many spine ticks or anything. And both of them came in pretty good shape. So that's probably my big. And I told you about paying off something today, so I'm not going to show that until a week or two when it comes in. But yes. I'm really excited about that one. That'll be my first major Skottie haul of the year. So I'll wait and show that on a future show.
Yeah, no, that'll be a great piece to show off for sure. So I look forward to when you you're able to reveal it. So
that's called a tease. That brings them back, Tyler, for more.
Come on back next week. Yeah, we just cut it here. Like, all right, that's it. Show's over.
That's all we got. Yeah. So, me. I did want to. I didn't mean to browse past Brian's comment here, but I wanted to make sure. Yeah, I'm glad you're able to complete that set. It seems almost an injustice to only have half of it. So to be able to complete it and get the second half, I'd be really hyped about that as well.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. There's such great covers, and it's funny because like I've been collecting. God, I've been collecting for at least 15 years, at least. And those are ones I specifically remember like grabbing from the comic store and like I've had and as they've gotten harder to find, it's like, oh man, I'm glad that those were kind of tucked away and stuff. But yeah, being able to find those, like Dustin said, it's unfortunate when you can't have the whole set, especially for that one when it's split so perfectly. So yes,
yeah, this one.
Yeah. And
this was one of my Christmas gifts. So, yeah.
Oh, was it nice? Mine is behind my door, unfortunately, still. Like that one, the Star Wars. There's so many things I need to put up and display.
Well, God bless them. I asked my mom and sister. They always ask me stuff to get. And I don't want anything, but they said please send us something. So I sent them a link for that, and I sent them a link for the Star Wars, and they both bought that one. So, and
that's awesome.
My sister's been sick. Yeah, she's been sick, and our families have both been sick. So we still haven't got together for Christmas yet. So I haven't got her gift yet, but I know I've got another Spider-Man print coming up. So, but that's if you're going to have two of a print, that's the one to have two of.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's fitting too, since for the comic, you needed two of them as well to complete the whole cover. So,
and I want to give a shout out to the Stupid Fresh Mess. If I could say it, gosh, I am slurring everywhere tonight, Tyler. I apologize. But the shop were just absolutely awesome. My sister had ordered that print, and it got lost in the mail. And Megan had even explained. She emailed the shop and said the tracking just disappeared. It was like lost in the mail. And Megan replied back and said that happens from time to time. We're having a lot of issues, especially with those being shipped in the tubes.
Yeah.
And said, we'll get you one out so you can make sure and have it for Christmas time. Just if the other one shows up, mail it back. And my sister was like so complimentary of the response that she was getting. And the shop, Megan and them, none of them knew that was my sister. Like it wasn't like, oh, well, they're friends of Dustin. We know
Yeah.
Dustin. It was a complete stranger. My sister has a different last name than me. She lives in a different city than I do. So I was just like really impressed that, it's not just like they take care of the fans that they know. They take care of everybody. They want
Yeah.
everybody to be completely satisfied. So, I mean, that just speaks volumes about how good they are at the shop. So,
No,
make
yeah,
sure
and
you
it's
give
their
thumbs up.
their customer service is beyond amazing, and then like you said, it's not just for people they know, and and even for knowing people, it's not like they're just handing it out, to try and drum up business or get
Yeah.
free promotions or whatever have you and stuff. Like they're truly doing it just because they're such great people and they're so kind and they really want people to be happy with their products. And if you're not, then they're willing to do something about it and to take that hit. And being a small business, I'm sure that's got to be tough to take those hits. And I'm sure they don't come often enough. So that's, why, and especially how you reach out is such a big thing, and
Yes.
Megan and them are so receiving, if you're just nice about it and, just send a nicely worded email, just, inquiring, then again, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be met with, oh yeah, we can totally, get that right out and send it to you or send you a new one or whatever have you and stuff. So that's
And
awesome to
Tyler,
hear. Yeah, that your sister was able to do that.
you hit the nail on the head. What not to do is to go in our group and complain about how bad the packaging was or how damaged the product was before reaching out to them, because uh, I guarantee if you reach out to them, they will make it right. But if you go out and blast them, they will probably still make it right. But it just it doesn't make them look bad as you think it does. It makes the person posting look like they
Yeah,
jumped the
no,
gun.
it's honestly, one of the things I like about the group is that it's again, it's one of the nicest groups I've been a part of, and it's truly because the community itself is nice. And like you said, when somebody comes out, mean or not mean, but just with bad intentions or a rude attitude, then they're gonna get called out for it. And like you said, just because it's so unnecessary with this group, it's at their core, they're 3 people, at most, or maybe 5, 6, 7. I'm not entirely sure of their exact numbers, but they're under 10 to my knowledge for the most part, except with their help with Third Eye Comics. But they do and handle most everything by hand. I mean, the fact that they have Skottie packaging stuff occasionally, just goes to show you like how small they are. So they're doing it because they believe in their product, they believe in their company, and they just want to put out cool stuff. And again, I love how transparent and open they are, with the non-con stuff, and just writing a whole Substack of like their reasonings. They don't owe that to us. They don't have to do anything. They could just say, hey, here's a non-con. You can no longer bring comics, and sign them or blah blah blah, whatever. But they don't do that. They
Right.
give their reasonings, and again, it's because they're doing it out of goodwill. So
And that goes a long ways.
yes,
But
100%.
before we jump on to the next topic, I want to make sure I meant to do this early on in the show,
Mm.
and I'm never going to skip an opportunity to put a banner up. I love banners.
I was looking at it. Yeah, there's like more stuff we can do now. I don't know if you saw that when you logged in, but there's like new things we can do or whatever. So
I feel like on Inside Out where they get the new console. I'm like I'll be
yeah,
anger, you can be joy. We'll
yeah,
have a blast
exactly.
here.
Yeah.
But as one of the 5 announcements to end 2024 and begin 2025, I made sure and made an announcement that we will have a giveaway every single month, starting in January, to celebrate our 5-year anniversary of the Skottie Young Appreciation Group on Facebook. So the first giveaway, we're halfway through January, and we will announce this later on in the probably the 3rd episode of the year. But it'll be a $25 gift card to the Skottie Shop. I like those because I don't have to ship them. I can just email them the code. So it won't
Yeah.
always be a gift card. It'll actually be, sometimes it'll be physical product. But I want to do a $25 gift card. And over the next week, Tyler and I are going to brainstorm on how we want to give away the first $25 gift card, the first prize of 2025. So this will be prize 1 of 12. If you don't win the first one, maybe you'll win the 2nd through 12th. And you can only win one prize. We'll do that just
that's
to
at
make it
least
fair
fair.
to
Yeah.
everybody. Because we don't want Seth getting all 12 prizes, even though he's a great guy.
because then he'll just
Well,
steal an original art or a sketch that somebody else would have gotten. So we can't have that. You can get a discount, but you can't get the whole price off with all the gift cards you saved up. So
no, that's exactly right. But the first giveaway, $25, not too shabby. We'll buy you an extra, excellent comic from there. Help pay off something, a daily sketch, if you're lucky enough to grab one of those, if they come back up again. But yeah, that's our first announcement. We'll announce it one more time before the show ends. But I wanted to make sure and announce that early so Tyler can get his creative juices flowing.
I know, yeah. I was gonna say I can go ahead and tell you that it won't be a bean counter activity, so you can at least knock that off, knock that off the list.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I liked it. That was great in theory, but in practice, yeah, we it became a little bit cumbersome. But yeah, that was a good idea, Tyler. I'm gonna
It was
give
a
you that.
test run. Yeah, it was a test run. I tried to. It's so hard to balance because I'm like, I don't want things to be too easy, but then I also don't want them to be too hard. So, it's tough to. Once people started giving me their numbers, I was like, okay, I think I made this too hard, maybe, or confusing with, including the beginning and the end one. So.
Yeah, so we had to bring like abacus. We were rolling them as we saw them.
I counted I rechecked myself. I was like Santa Claus. I was like, all right, I'm checking this multiple times to make sure that I'm not, doing the math incorrectly. So, excuse me.
Yeah, we're pretty sure that Tyler had the right number because he's the one that put them in there, but we're not 100% sure that was the right number.
Oh, I'm 100% sure. It just took me a little while to get there. So yeah,
okay. I'm not 100% sure, but I trust Tyler. So, all right, I don't know what the next slide is. Let's just roll with it. Oh yeah, the issue 19. Oh yeah, with the great. I love the cover C and D, how they herald back to the first issue. Gert standing on the mushroom.
Yep. No, yeah, it's such a, the, like you said, I've got it right here, the print of it, and then I've got the statue of it as well. So yeah, it's fun to see things kind of come full circle in a way. And it's definitely too hard. Noted for next time. But no, it's again, it's going to be tough to see Brett go. I've grown so accustomed to his artwork and love it so much and what it's added to the world of I Hate Fairyland. And, I only wish him the best in his future endeavors and future comics and everything. But I'll definitely at least enjoy this one. And then the next one being his last. So, like you said, these are such great covers.
And I have not read these. I've been buying the single issues, and I've got the first volume for Christmas. But I am waiting till all 20 comes out so I can read them all together. But yeah, if you're someone that likes to do the trade reading, please make sure and buy the single issues as well. Remember, sales help us get more volumes. And as Skottie has said, he's not going to be through with Gert for a while in the one Substack letter that he sent out. But still, sales help make it easier for him to keep producing these. So make sure and buy the singles, even if you plan on only reading the trades.
Yeah, and they're so like like we already know as people who collect them and stuff, but I mean they've been such great covers, and especially if you're into the collecting the different variants and stuff. I mean, again, it's just the stuff that he and Brett have been doing with just not just as homages, but even just like the cool black and white ink variations and stuff. Again, I Hate Fairyland is one of my favorite comics of his, and the fact that it's been able to go on as long as it has and is only going to continue makes me happy for sure. So,
well, real quick before we move on to the next slide, as we were talking about before the show, Brett will be at MegaCon, even though he had to cancel. As far as we know,
yes,
with Brett being in the California LA area. He had to cancel the previous week's show at New Orleans, I believe it was. So as far as we know, he will be at MegaCon. That's thoughts and prayers out there for everybody that's suffering through the wildfires right now, and all those affected with lost lives and lost property. But if Brett is at MegaCon, he said he is bringing some interior art, and also I believe either late this week, early next week, Clan McDonald Comics on Facebook they are doing a Brett Beam sketch op, which means they will put an opportunity for you to claim a sketch op from their group where you pay them directly. They work with Brett or his rep, whoever's going to be handling that, and get the sketch. Then Clan McDonald Comics will ship the sketch to you. So they're a great company to work with. I get all my comics from there, my from previews. So I would recommend signing up for that group and checking out Brett's sketch if you're not going to be able to make it to MegaCon or any con that he's going to be at in the future. So it's a great way to get a sketch from him.
Yeah, just don't take too many because I've at least got like 4 or 5 that in mind that I would like him to do because I will be attending in person. So and Seth will be, and I know Seth will be right there with me. So Seth and I will just be competing, like just buying one commission, just back and forth. So like he already beat me to it. He's already got a commission reserved from Brett to pick up at MegaCon. So
quick draw McGraw's beat you to the punch. Well done, Seth. Yeah, I think I've talked to Seth a little bit about that one, so I can't wait to see if it's the one that we talked about. I can't wait to, and I won't spoil it, but I can't wait to see.
Well, I mean, his last one was fantastic with the Princess Leia and Gert. So if it's anything like that, then I very much look forward to it. So
yeah, me too. Oh, and this one, I think this one's jumping out of order too because I think the Mysterio. I gotta stop talking. Seth is still. We'll see how much power Seth has over Brett.
Yeah, we'll see if that holds true come MegaCon. So,
all right, back to this awesome animated statue of Spider-Man on the chimney. I really thought the Mysterio was put up for pre-order before this one. Like I've got my list too,
yeah.
So I was shocked whenever I went to Previews website and looked to see what was coming out next week. And they had this was being released next week because I pre-ordered the Mysterio for me and a friend. I've got 2 of those coming in. So when I saw this one, I thought, oh man, they're getting out of order. But I'm never going to complain when a Skottie statue ships. But some of the pre-order timetables, can linger a little bit. But this is a great one. I'm very excited to get this one in the collection.
Yeah, this is definitely one I'm looking forward to grabbing at some point. I love again when they bring in the environmental stuff. That's always my favorite, and it's just the size comparison too. It'll be fun to have him so tiny and up on that little chimney stack there. But yeah, it's a great one. Again, it's in my opinion, Gentle Giant's never made a bad Skottie Young statue. There are ones that aren't as close on model, I would say, as the other ones, but still pretty freaking good for being able to, again, capture his unique style and bring it into a 3D world. So yeah, I love these statues. I've already run out of space, but I'll find somewhere to put them. So
yeah, this is a tease for a future show, but we've talked about this so many times, Tyler. We are going to do a statue show eventually of just where we go through and pick our favorites and pick our least favorites. I won't say the worst ones, but there's one I've told you about that it's not my favorite, and I'll save it for the show. But all of them, I've been impressed with all of them. And they're like hitting 50 now or 60 of them that have been either that are previewed or have been released. Yeah. But I hope they keep on going. I want to have 100 of these things on my shelves. They're so great, and they Skottie's work is just kudos to the sculptor and the painter of these. It's just a wonderful representation of Skottie's work.
Yeah, to be able to mass produce these and produce these on a large scale, at least, or larger scale. That's true. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it will be interesting to see. Seth makes a great point. What they end up doing with those statues they found, because they have their Gert statue boxes that they found in storage. So yeah, that one's gonna be. I already know that they took one of Megan's, so they found. I think it was like they found 12, but she was like, really, it was like 11 because I believe they took one for the shop. I don't think they had one up on the display. So
I don't think so either.
Yeah, it'll definitely. I think those will be special. I think it's got to be like an auction or to drum up money for something special. So
or put a $1,500 price tag on all of them and let everybody duke it out.
I would say, I mean, you jest, but it wouldn't really surprise me. Yeah,
it's not a full jest; it's a partial jest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a jest, if you will. Yeah, no, it's, that's, and again, it's one of those lucky ones where I was there at Comic-Con. I just happened to go that year, and I was like, oh, I love Gert. I have to get this statue. And I got the statue and the 2 prints I now own. And boy, am I so glad I did. Cause yeah, finding that statue is an incredibly difficult task. So
Well, not just finding the statue, but finding one that's not broken, because it's got there's such
yeah,
intricate parts of it. Yeah, I've seen quite a few that's popped up that's had something either snapped off of it and
honestly, I was
glued
gonna
back.
say I'd like you to find a statue that isn't broken. Honestly, I think would be more because even mine, I mean, I bought directly there and got it, and my head unfortunately was snapped at the neck. It's just such a thin
Oh,
point.
really?
Yeah, her head
Yes.
is just so, I think, heavy for what it is. That it's got that tiny neck with it, and it just wasn't enough. Uh, uh, Goodness, I'm blanking on the word, but enough of a base, whatever to grab onto, so it didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like I said, mine was, I got there day one, and when I opened it, it was broken already. So I'd be thoroughly surprised if there's one that's like perfect and pristine and not broken. So, but again, I
Well,
I still put it back on, and I was totally fine. So
I'll ask you and ask the audience too. So, whenever the 11 that Skottie found, does he sign them or not sign them? What do you think?
I think he'll sign him. The thing will be whether he signs them on the box or if he signs them like on the statue itself. Because mine I have
But,
signed on the statue on the base of it.
yeah.
So
That's what I was thinking. As fragile as they are, to remove them, to sign them, and then repack them, you almost are nervous to do that, because that's just any extra handling of those type of statues. At the stress points can cause fractures and the.
it'll be fine if he does the base, because the base is thankfully separate. So that one came a lot more separated than a lot of the other statues come with. So she's by herself, and then the statue is by itself. And I think that's as much separation there. The axe might have been separated as well. I'm not entirely sure, but he would be able to just grab the base out pretty quickly and sign it if he wanted to. But also then you're cutting it open if they're numbered and all that stuff. So I could, I'm sure it'll maybe be a half and half. Maybe he signs some of the bases, maybe he signs some of the boxes, and kind of, does it evenly split. So, or maybe dealer's
It'll be
choice,
fun to find
the
out.
person who gets it. So
Yeah, that's true. And this is, I wonder, I should have brought this in when we were talking about I Hate Fairyland earlier, but a lot of these captions I stole straight. I shouldn't say stole. I borrowed straight from Stupid Fresh Messes, because I wanted to make sure and get the wording right on what they said and not try to copy it. But so I literally copied it. But I Hate Fairyland 20 sees the end of Brett Bean running the series. Gerda sending him off as only she can. What an incredible ride! And yeah, that's we talked about him putting Skottie on the cover of 13B of I Hate Fairyland, and then Skottie returns a favor for issue 20 and puts Brett on there with the box from 7 on there as Gert presents to him. So yeah, this would be an honor to be drawn it by Skottie and put on a cover, and as a special thank you for all that Brett's did on this series.
No, it's cool, and that's one of the things I love about. I'll hear, you hear all the artists talk about it. That's kind of what they do for each other. Their gifts are, a sketch or a drawing, whatever that is. If it's, something like this where Skottie drew Brett himself, as a nod in the comic, or if they draw a character from their from their book or something like that. So, I love that. I mean, it's such a cool way, and it makes it so much more personal being able to gift somebody, something personal like that, a drawing or sketch. So like I said, I mean, this one is really cool. It's such a great send off for Brett, and I can't wait to own this cover and have it in the collection. So
oh yeah, and this is one that you'd want to get signed by Skottie and Brett.
Yeah.
So this is
honestly, and that's honestly that I don't know why it hadn't even crossed my mind. Like, I want to bring all my I Hate Fairyland books to get signed by Brett at Mega.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to get them all signed? I said that for this one, but you're exactly right. I misspoke. So yeah, they're all
no, you just jogged my mind, because I was like, oh yeah, duh, I can bring, obviously I'll have to lug them around, but that's the sacrifice I'm willing to make to have Brett sign him if he's willing to do it. So
most definitely. He's got a cool signature too, so that'll be fun to get him.
He does, yeah. I've got, I guess the original art piece would have his signature on it. So
yeah, I had to look over to remember, because I thought that's what it was. I've got a piece of his on the wall over there, so I had to check it out. But yeah, whenever you do MegaCon, which is coming up in a few weeks, we've talked about it for. We'll have to make sure and hit up the show. Add a special section on here so you can give your recap and your what happens with Brett and all that good stuff.
No, definitely, and funny enough, because I was looking at the dates. This will be right before his last issue drops. So MegaCon is February 6th through the 9th. So it'll be right before that final issue on the 12th. So.
Oh, that'll be exciting. And maybe he can give you some hints of what's going on with the final chapter of Endgame.
I know we tried getting some out of him during our conversation with him, but he was good. We weren't gonna push, It's just if it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Kind of a deal.
It's all in fun because I like to joke about spoilers, but I really don't want to know spoilers. I like to be surprised. So. All right, the last but not least, the quicksand thing, and the comment that I think Stupid Fresh Mess posted, and that we always thought quicksand would be such a bigger hazard as a child than what it actually is. But man, he keeps coming up with new ways to off Spider-Man, and this was a fun one.
Yeah, you got to wonder how he ended up. I was just thinking, I hadn't really thought about it before, but like, how do you end up in this situation? I would assume he was swinging, ran out of stuff to whip, and then just plunk just right in the middle of the quicksand. So
Sandman does he? I don't know if he comes.
True, yeah, I guess. And then there again, I can't believe I didn't make that connection of it being Sandman, because he's been again referencing not all of them, but some of them referencing the vultures, and now this one. But I cannot believe I didn't make that connection beforehand that it was Sandman, is that he's Oh goodness!
I literally made it 30 seconds ago, like whenever you were talking. So it's not,
at least I'm not alone in that. Yeah.
No, we're not too quick tonight. But yeah, this one, it's still not. You know what my favorite one is? I say it every time a new one gets released. It's the vultures are still my favorite. But
funny enough, I've got it. Yep. Right here, I was saying, because that was one I didn't hold it up. Yeah, that's one of the ones I grabbed for my box.
I love that.
It is a great one.
I have to rank them in my head, but that one still pops up on top every time. So
yeah, mine's the Itsy Bitsy Spider. That's still my go-to for.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm not nay-naying any of the ones. That one's just
no, not at all. Yeah, they're all. Again, I know this stuff for Marvel at least is a good way to get money and get people interested in the comics and stuff and whatnot, but. I think it's a hilarious idea. And again, I think Skottie embodies it most of the time and, really runs with it. It's not just, hamming it in. It's like, hey, what can I really think of that would be hilarious for each and one of these every single moment? So like you said, I mean, I think he puts out my favorite one and then they put out the next one. I'm like, okay, well, never mind. That just topped it, by a mile. Yeah, so I'm excited to see the few we have left. So
I think when all 10 get out, we're going to have to do like a weighted average and rank
so we could. Yeah, we could.
We'll see which ones after we add ours together.
Yeah,
do like the lowest number gets the number one spot and work our way backwards from that. So,
I mean, we could honestly make an episode out of just those covers. So,
oh yeah, I think we got to definitely do that. And it won't be too much longer. We'll be able to. So that's
exactly.
That'll be a fun show.
I can see,
you know that. Yeah. And oops, that's not what I meant to do. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. I hadn't even noticed that, but yeah, it is a different. Like with Skottie's clouds before have been more in his style. So I bet if we see the cover art or the actual white art for this, the clouds aren't even there. That was put in post, but.
Yeah,
it is a little different, but thankfully the Spider-Man and the sign are more in the forefront and are kind of more of the eye focal point. But yeah, that's Eagle Eye Ryan. That's a good catch. I didn't even pay attention to that. Yeah, the title over
the title. Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah.
So I usually forget to post like the comments me and you are responding to, Tyler, but if anybody's watching the show later on and they can't see the comments, sometimes my reactions probably don't line up to what they see. So I try to remember to post that. All right, and then what I accidentally teased, and what's coming out March 19th, the Godzilla versus Fantastic Four. Actually, this one came out of left field for me. I had seen on previews the title, but I hadn't seen the cover, and it's incredible. It's a lot going on in it too.
No, it's again, it's one of those funny ones where I don't take enough time, and I guess it kind of goes back to that surprise thing, where I don't really, I see the title, like, okay, Skottie's doing a Godzilla versus Fantastic Four. And I guess in my head, I'm like, all right, they'll be fighting Godzilla, be in his cute style, and it'll be great. But again, I always, for some reason, undercut his humor because this just had me cracking up. The thought of the Thing dressing up as Godzilla, and then
Brilliant.
and Human Torch being like, no, like not dress up as, like it's versus, and he's like, oh, that makes more sense. Like, and I love that, just that image of the Thing who's such a serious and he's normally in his Rocky form or whatever. So the fact that he had to squeeze into a Godzilla suit is hilarious to me. So,
oh yeah, it's funny and it's clever and it's actually visually it's incredible as well. So I love the colors of it, the purples and blue, and then the orange and the
yeah, I love
from,
I love that you still have Godzilla doing his energy blast in the background. It's like, oh no,
a whole different thing going on.
Yeah, he's back there fighting. I'm assuming the rest of the Fantastic Four, and then you've got Human Torch and Thing over here just goofing around. So
yeah. Well, with this one being revealed, and this is the last one we've got for the night. I think preview still has "What if Mickey and Friends became the Avengers?" #1. We have not. I don't think they've posted, like Skottie's posted that cover image yet. And
I don't think so. Yeah.
What was I'm trying to see what images haven't been posted. See, this was number 68, so I don't think we've seen 69 and 70, which are up on previews now. So we've got a few. Man, I'm just love clicking that button, Tyler. We've got a few comics that are up on previews that we have not seen the images to, so I'm looking forward to reviewing those on a future show.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, it's the start of a new year, and I'm, as always, I look forward to a new year of Skottie, and especially what we're gonna get next. Now that Ain't No Grave is finished, I Hate Fairyland is potentially coming to a pause. We know there's more stuff after, and there's going to be some new artists and stuff from what we've heard and seen. But it's it's a whole new year. So there's sky's the limit, or not even the sky. It's space is the non-limit of what we could potentially get out of Skottie this year. So
well said. I like that. Yeah, I'm assuming Twig Volume 2 will hit in 2025, and the secret Jorge Skottie project that they hinted about, during the Ain't No Grave live YouTube live they did. So hopefully, at least we'll get details as to what that is without maybe actually getting the book this year.
Yeah, no, for sure, because I'm sure just as every previous year, he's already booked probably all the way through Christmas, I'm sure. So
yeah,
it's just a matter of when we find out what those bookings are. So
right on. All right, and the other one I fat fingered and tried to get ahead. Oh, Seth, maybe Jorge is doing.
That one would be really. I'd love to see Jorge dive into I Hate Fairyland. So
I would too. It makes me, just based upon the way they were talking, that it was, because they wouldn't even hint at what it would sound like as a new story though, and they wouldn't hint at what genre it was or anything. But they said it was their favorite thing they'd ever worked on. So I kind of think it's something new, but it would be a fun surprise if it was I Hate Fairyland. That's a good.
You could be doing like a one-off if they kind of do some more Untold Tales or something along those lines. So
I'm not sure how long Jorge's committed to Transformers, doing the interior for that. He's been doing an amazing job on that as well. But yeah, that's a good point, Seth. I'm glad you mentioned that. But this is something else that happened while we were on our hiatus. The personal collection of Skottie Young dropped at the Skottie Shop, and with this amazing logo, and I blew up the image there. This is the image that's on CGC's custom label, and it'll say from the personal collection of Skottie Young. And the video that went along with these was hilarious. Skottie just flopping books everywhere, throwing them from his car on the road, uh, and like I think the book up here in the top left that has the little Spider-Man on the back,
Yep.
the big Spider-Man,
Yep.
was the one that had wine on the back of it that Megan talked about. That it says water stain, but it's actual wine stain on the back, or something along those lines. So there were some really amazing books that hit this, including this book here that was given out at a convention that's pretty rare now, the Peter Parker Spider-Man. And I think there was 3 of those that were available, and I believe they were priced around the $800 price mark, and they all the books sold out really quickly.
Yep.
So it was a very fun, and they said the second drop will be coming soon. We don't know what books will be included in it, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that because I missed out. I didn't get any of the books from this first drop, but I definitely want to try to get one from the second drop just to get the label on in my collection.
No, I love the label. Yeah, there was a few that I would have loved to have gone after. That I just especially with around the holidays and buying gifts and all that kind of stuff, I was kind of taking it a little bit more easy. But like you said, the label and especially the fact that they include like for some of them the little blurb or the story behind for what it is, and even if there's not necessarily a story, I mean just some of these. Like one of my personal favorites, the Ain't No Grave, that was signed, 8 or 9 times or something ridiculous. Like, again, just such a fun, visual thing, and the fact that that this was because they're testing out markers to see which looked the best, and maybe where to sign and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's such an awesome series, and like you said, great label, and I can't wait to see them do more of these, and it's like honestly such a perfect way to be able to get some of those comics that I kind of been sitting around that you're not really quite sure of what to do with, and be able to add something special to them and make them more of a collector's item. So.
Oh, exactly, and I love the fact that it's going to be an ongoing series that they'll keep adding to it, and anytime. Because if you miss out on the first round, like I did, you'll have another opportunity to come along. And the books, like Tyler was talking about, that have the multiple signatures on them. I mean, it's Skottie signature, so you're getting a bunch of Skottie signatures on a book. So if one's good, 9's great. You can't. The more the better. We're all about quantity here.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm totally fine. Like you said, the more the merrier, and honestly, I think that'd be a funny joke anyways, to just continue to bring the same book to Skottie over and over each year and just get him to fill it up until there's nothing left to sign.
Well, it's been fun to see some of the books returning from CGC that have had multiple Skottie signatures on them, where people have gotten they've gotten remarks added to books that were already signed, or they've got their second or third remark added to them. So yeah, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Oh, that's all we got, man. We've made that. This was a fast show, but we're still at an hour. We're
I say we're lining up almost kind of perfectly. So
yeah, we're always going to hit an hour. But yeah, Heroes, we're still going to try to do a meetup. I have reserved my hotel room. They are available on Heroes site with the special Heroes rate. So the Westin is the one that I think a lot of the artists stay at, and it's right across from the convention center. So, but there's other hotels there that are also using some type of discount rate based upon Heroes. Hey, that's what we do. Me and Tyler, our efficiency is our middle name. So just odd that we both have the same middle name.
Exactly. Yeah. What a coincidence. It's why we actually started the show. So
that's right. We don't have a whole lot in common other than Skottie, except our lame middle name of efficiency. So once again, as I always say, and nobody wants to come on here and spend time with me and Tyler, you are more than welcome to come join us on Skottie Talk. And if you have a topic that you would like to see us discuss, just message Tyler or myself on Facebook, and come visit us on Skottie Young Appreciation Group on Facebook. It's a public group, but you join. We're at like 8,750 members, so we're going strong. Even though we've only got 40 subscribers on this group, which is awesome considering, we're pretty early on. 40 subscribers is a lot more. That's about 38 more than I thought we'd have. And I haven't even got my mom. I haven't got my mom to subscribe yet. I was debating on whether to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, you get the freebie from a parent or relative. So
And Tyler's brother that doesn't want him to know that he's a fan of our show. He's probably one of those members. So
yeah,
for the
yeah,
reference.
exactly. He was listening to me and he was like, "All right, we got to get you a better mic so I can better hear you in these lives."
Yeah, that other guy you're with mumbles all the time, so we got to get you at least so that half the content can be heard. You got to pad those numbers; those are rookie numbers. We got to get up there. So, um, oh man, I jumped. I had to post Ryan's comment there, but I lost. This is actually announcement number 2, but it's too late in the show to change it. But yeah, $25 giveaway for a gift card for Skottie Shop that will be given away on the January 29th show of Skottie Talk. That'll be episode 18. Next week, Tyler and I will announce how we're going to give it away. We have eliminated the bean counter, but the other possibilities are almost infinite at this point. We'll come up with something fun. But I think that's all.
There you go. I added it for you.
If I talked long enough, I knew Tyler would get my back. So, oh man, the power.
It's never too late. We can make banners all we want. So
that's right. That's right. And we're going to leave it up the rest of the show just to show how much fun we like having banners with. So,
exactly.
Thank you all for watching tonight. I know this is our first show back, but it felt good to be back on with Tyler. And y'all have a great rest of the week until next week. Tyler, say anything you want to say and then sign us off.
Yeah, no, like like Dustin said, it's good to be back and get back into that rhythm, and especially with this year, being the 5-year anniversary of the group and doing these giveaways each month. It'll be really fun, not just because they draw more people into the show and that always makes it more fun, but just because, again, 5 years for most of us and especially Dustin, who started the group, and we wouldn't be here because without that group and getting to talk about Skottie and do this stuff. So yeah, very much looking forward to this year and continuing to talk about Skottie. And as Dustin said, I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday and New Year and started this year off right. And like you said, you mentioned it earlier, but for everyone who's dealing with the fires in California, again, it's that everyone's affected in some way or another, whether it's somebody like Brett Bean who had to cancel his New Orleans show and due to friends and family that live near those areas. Again, just thoughts and prayers, if you will, to those areas, and if you can donate or do things like that, because some people unfortunately are not starting their year off well. But we'll be here continuing to talk about comics and continue to talk about Skottie. And it's funny because I was trying to remember how I generally sign off, but usually I believe it was like, stay fresh, stay messy. And then, Skottie's favorite quote that we like to use is when in doubt, joke it out. And that's what we tend to do here. So we'll continue to see y'all next week and the rest of the year.